Hello, everyone. My name is Kirbie Be, and I am the CEO and head health coach from Vet Vive Wellness. And I'm so excited to be bringing you macro balanced snacks. This is in our series called Getting Adequate Nutrients. And the reason why we've created this series and why we talk so much about getting adequate nutrients is a lot of times the problem is not that we are overeating. A lot of times, the problem is that we are not eating enough of the right nutrients. So in this class, we are going to be going over, I do have a dog, we are going to be going over what are the different macros and how we can create snacks that are more balanced so that they give us what we need to get through our hectic work days. And of course, we focus on providing top quality health information for veterinarian doctors and those in the veterinarian medical community. But I think anyone can benefit from planning their snacks and planning their meals so that they get what they need from them and they can optimize their health and have peak performance in their career, no matter what their career is. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen, go through a little slide deck, and then I have everything prepared here to show you 3 macro balanced snacks that you can actually make at home super easy and bring with you into the clinic and into the hospital so that your nutritional needs will be met all day long. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So just a second, present. Okay. All right, here we go. So getting adequate nutrients, healthy snacks. All right, so why should we eat macro calculated snacks? Why is it so important that we actually understand the macronutrient component in our food? And the reason is really simple. Our diet and nutrition has significant effects on our mood and on our mental well-being. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter and it helps us regulate our sleep, our appetite, our moods, and even our pain. And if you didn't know already, 95% of serotonin is produced in your gastrointestinal tract in your gut. So good bacteria not only influences what your gut digests and absorbs, but it also affects how much inflammation is in your body, your mood, your energy level. All right, so the risk of depression is actually 25 to 35% lower in people who eat a traditional Mediterranean diet or Japanese diet. So these diets, they tend to be high in vegetables, fruits, unprocessed grains, fish, seafood, and they really only have a little bit of lean meats and dairy. But in the West, our diets don't quite look like that. We tend to grab more processed and refined foods and sugars, and those tend to be our staples of the Western dietary pattern. So you can see how the gastrointestinal tracts of Westerners would differ greatly from those who eat the Mediterranean and Japanese diet. All right, so evidence does show, and we have all of the studies linked throughout our slide deck. So if you're interested in looking at the studies, we're happy to share those peer-reviewed sources with you. But poor diet is essentially linked to mood disorders. There's a really strong association between a poor diet and exacerbation of mood disorders, including anxiety and depression. A lot of studies have found a correlation between high diets that are high in refined sugars and impaired brain function. And it could even make depression symptoms worse. Unfortunately, the veterinary medical community does deal with a significant degree of mental health issues. We all know the statistics and the prevalence of depressive episodes in the veterinary medicine community. And I'm not saying that good nutrition and healthy snacks is going to solve it and make it all better. But what if we were fueling ourselves with the right things? What if we could leverage the power of nutritional psychiatry to feel better, to fuel our bodies with what they need so that we can show up in a more empowered, powerful way in our practices? And we have several sources linked here. Happy to share the slide deck on our website. So this presentation is for you. If you are too exhausted from long work hours to make your own snacks, I've been there. You're really not sure what to eat, how much, you have no idea what to make. You're relying on processed food and delivery during your shifts, if you even have time to eat at all, okay? You wanna have more energy, more clarity, more focus. You wanna feel stronger in your body, and you wanna have more stamina. This is for you. And I'm going to share a little bit about my story because I don't have a background in veterinary medicine, but I'll share how I got involved with the veterinary medicine community in just a minute. But my story begins when I was a teacher, and I was so exhausted that I basically lived on microwave dinners and frozen pizzas. I struggled with depression, anxiety. I struggled with chronic pain, inflammation. I was on and off a variety of different medications, and I was basically sick all the time. Really, really poor immune system. And you can see that picture of me on the left of the screen. So between chronic neck and back pain, that brought me to a variety of different practitioners. Nothing really helped me. I really didn't get the relief that I was looking for. And then finally, I hired a holistic nutritionist. And this was where things started to really shift for me. So I started changing my habits. I started changing my nutrition, okay? And that's where everything really started to shift. I lost 30 pounds during that experience alone. And my back pain and neck pain was gone. My stamina and my strength improved, and my confidence skyrocketed. So that's when I started teaching yoga at Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine in St. Kitts, West Indies. And I was teaching yoga on the lawn. I was just doing my thing, teaching yoga, sharing all of my favorite practices with the vet students and the faculty. And after yoga class was finished, I would have a long line of students who were kind of crowding around me, telling me like, hey, I have this neck pain. Do you have any stretches for that? My hip really bothers me. Do you have any exercises I should do? I'm curious about some meal ideas. And that's where I started to realize that this community really did need some support. So eventually I opened up the first yoga studio in St. Kitts, West Indies called Indie Yoga, and I named after my doggy that you probably saw earlier. And after class, again, the students would ask me to create meal plans for them. I was not certified to create meal plans, so I decided I should go to school and I should learn. So I studied a variety of different nutrition courses. I got certified and eventually became a master health coach through Precision Nutrition. And that's where everything really started to evolve with Vet Vive Wellness. I began coaching veterinarians online and in person. And coming from that space of really understanding what it's like to be in veterinary medicine, the demands, the hectic schedules, and also coming from that empathetic place of knowing and feeling in my body what it's like to really be struggling, to give so much to your profession and to have so little left over for yourself to take care of yourself. Um, and so that's where Vet Vive Wellness was created. I also, the middle picture, I decided to challenge myself at one point in time, and I competed in a bikini competition, which really put my skills of understanding macros to the test. And the picture on the far right in the pink gym outfit is a current picture of me. I am still taking care of my health. I find it a lot easier these days. Understanding macronutrients makes it easy for me to make healthy choices. And I don't really have to stress a whole lot about knowing if I'm getting the right amount of each nutrient because it kind of comes secondhand. So I'm going to be sharing with you 3 of my favorite recipes that truly have gotten me through when I was an elementary school teacher. Having these snacks in my lunch bag made the day so much better, I can tell you. And also, I'm still eating these same things today. I'm still prepping my food just like back then. So these recipes have really stood the test. All right, so here are a few of my results. This is a client of mine, Dr. Anne-Marie Biggins, and what we really worked on together was trying to figure out a personalized routine for Anne-Marie. And she really felt that the habits that she learned, incorporating more protein, incorporating more movement, understanding how many carbs was the recommended amount for her body, it's been effective, not just in her personal life, but she's noticed the impact spill over into her profession. And that's really what we're here for, to try to make things easier for you, both in your personal life and in your career. This was a testimonial that really touched my heart because this woman, Dr. Rochelle, she was really struggling to even stay awake throughout the day. She didn't have enough energy to do the things that she needed to do to be a successful student. And teaching her how to leverage macro balanced nutrition changed her life. She lost a lot of weight, but she also had more energy that she could direct towards her studies. All right, so this is our method, basically planning to get adequate nutrients. We are not into complicated freezer meals on Pinterest. What we aim to do is help you understand the basic macronutrients, how much you need of each per day, and then planning really simple meals from there. Portion. We teach hand portion sizes. So understanding how much protein, carbs, fat, veggies you need in order to get the results that you want, whether that be weight loss, whether that be building muscle, whether that be maintenance and just feeling good, just improving your health in general. Understanding how much food you need to get of each is really, really important. And it just helps take all the mystery out, So finally, prepping food by macro, and also having little rules and little rituals so that prep feels effortless. And I'll give you an example of a rule for me. I make sure that I always have chicken breast in the fridge. And when I get to the bottom of my container, I know it's time to put the next chicken breast in the slow cooker. And just having that ritual makes sure that I always have access to protein constantly throughout the week. And it's really easy to throw a chicken breast in the slow cooker, right? Another ritual that I do is I pack recyclable glass jars, and I pack them with overnight oats. I'm going to show you that recipe in just a minute. And I also pack them with protein yogurt. So having these jars lined up in my fridge so that I can just reach in and grab one That's been a game changer for me, having access to healthy food. That makes me not go into my pantry and start eating whatever that, doesn't really make sense in terms of giving my body what it needs. Okay, so first off, what are macronutrients? Because we hear it all the time, macro, macro, macro. What does that really mean? Essentially, there are three macronutrients, but I kind of like to, when we're talking about what to add into each meal and snack, I like to count veggies too, because they really are important. But the three main macronutrients are fat, protein, carbohydrates. And technically, veggies, which are full of fiber, do fall into the carbohydrate category. And it's actually shocking. A lot of my clients, we've had this conversation, they're like, whoa, there are so many carbs in veggies. Yes, there really are. And we can satisfy our carbohydrate target, our portion target, by including a lot of veggies. So let's go a little bit deeper into the macronutrients so that we understand what foods fall into each category. All right, so protein. First off, what is it for? It's for helping satisfy our appetite, our body composition, our performance, our recovery. Protein helps us build muscle, and there's some little information here about how much exactly we need. Obviously, this is a little bit different from person to person because it does depend on your goals, and it does depend on how active or how sedentary you are. So if you are more of a large animal veterinarian and you have a lot of running around to do, and then your protein needs might be very different from a veterinarian that is in a small animal clinic, and maybe their job is a little bit more based at a desk. So either way, it's involved in the repair and rebuilding of our tissues, our hormones, and our immune system, okay? And the cheat code with protein is that it actually puts us in a negative energy balance, okay? It essentially takes more energy to digest that protein than the energy that is in the food. So protein helps keep us fuller longer. It takes longer for our body to break down. So including a lot of protein in your diet is a really great way to lose body fat, lose body weight. And here are some examples of protein, and we've divided them up into three categories: eat more, eat some, eat less. You can take a look and just glance as to where your favorite protein sources lie. Obviously, whenever we are planning our macros, we get a lot more bang for our buck by choosing the cleaner, leaner sources in the eat more category. My diet is based mostly around chicken, eggs and egg whites, fish, but I also like to include cottage cheese, Greek yogurt. Technically, I believe that is categorized as a carb, but it does have a lot of good protein in there, and protein powder, which is in the eat some category. And if you're noticing that your diet is made up of a lot of protein sources in the eat less category, this would be your indication to take a look and pre-plan a little bit of how you could include more from that green eat more category. All right, so carbohydrates. A lot of talk about carbohydrates being bad, but actually, if we're getting the right kind of carbohydrates, they're very good and very beneficial for us. So I like to refer to this type of carbohydrates as smart carbs, okay? So smart carbs, they are coming from starchy tubers, beans, legumes, which is actually a carb and not a protein. A lot of people think that beans are a source of protein. They do have some protein included. However, if you look at the nutritional information for beans and legumes, typically you would have to eat a lot of them in order to reach that protein target. And if you look at the amount of carbs in beans, they are majority made up of carbs. Whole grains, whole grain versions of noodles and pastas, okay? These are great, smart carbs. And the benefits of including carbs in your diet, they give us energy. They give us fiber for digestion. They give us nutrients, and they can actually help us gain lean mass. So how many carbs do you need? It really depends on each person, and it really depends on their goal. So it's how big or small you are, how much lean mass they have, or how much they want to have, how active they are, how intense that activity is, what stage of life they're at, how old they are, and the intake of other macronutrients as well. Also, some people are just a little bit more genetically blessed, and they're able to tolerate more carbs than others. So not really a correct amount for everyone, but we do need some in our diet. And here's the sources. Here's where we can get them from. Okay, so eating more, we're focusing on those beans and lentils, steel cut rolled old-fashioned oats, so good. Quinoa is great. There might be some other sources here that might be a little bit less familiar, like sorghum or farro or millet or buckwheat, amaranth. Also notice how plain non-fat, I believe it's meant to say, Greek yogurt falls into this category as well. And again, if you check the nutritional information on your Greek yogurt, you'll notice that it does actually have a little more carbs than it does protein, but however, still a good source of protein. Corn, sweet potatoes is a really good one. So just kind of noticing those things that you typically eat, you know, where are they landing in terms of eat more, eat some, eat less, and where could you plan to get a little bit more smart carbs in your diet? Okay, so fats. Fats are really important as well. They help with our cell signaling and communication. They actually help regulate inflammation, and they help us feel more satisfied at meals. And I've got to throw in a little quote here from Dr. Eric Peterson. If you know him, he's incredible. He is a professor at Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine, a good friend of mine. And his joke, whenever he's cooking or whenever he's barbecuing, is, how do you spell flavor? F-A-T. And it's just a little joke because fat really does add a lot of flavor to our meals, and it really does help us feel more satisfied. It provides us with energy, helps us make imbalanced hormones. It helps form our cell membranes. It helps form our brain and nervous system. It transports fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K, and it helps give us these 2 amino acids that we can't get on our own, omega-3 and omega-6. There is recommended fat allowances or targets that we could include in our body, depending on whether you are lightly active or if you are highly active. And noticing the difference here, because if you look at these numbers for lightly active, they're almost double for highly active individuals. So the amount of fat that you should take in is really directly related to how active you are, how much physical activity you're doing. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these fats. And a few things that I noticed on this particular graph is that there are a lot of oils. These are typically the kind of oils that restaurants and fast food joints cook with: canola, corn, sunflower, soybean, vegetable oil. I don't know if you remember shortening. I know my mom used to cook with it whenever I was growing up. And all of these foods fall over into the eat less category. They're not really a good source of fats, okay? We really want to be staying over here in the eat more category. So choosing the extra virgin olive oil, the avocado, the walnut, dressings that are made with those, cheese, egg yolks, cashews, pistachios. So nuts fall under this category. Nut butters fall under this category. Pesto, it's really great if you can make your own as well. And all the different seeds fall here. Of course, it's cool to have a little dark chocolate every once in a while, a little coconut oil or coconut milk. But these can often be rich in carbohydrates as well, just like trail mix. So, vegetables. So including vegetables can help us provide our bodies with vitamins, antioxidants, minerals, and soluble and insoluble fibers. So the benefits here is that eating the appropriate amount of vegetables is linked to less inflammation, linked to reduced risk for chronic diseases, protect against cancer and disease. And when I think of vegetables, I think about fiber. I think about giving my body enough fiber to help my digestive system work properly. Okay. Different colors imply different nutrients and health benefits. So you want to be eating the rainbow here. You want to be including as many different colors as you can. I'd like to make a note that if you are in a place where you might not be eating very many vegetables, it could be a little bit tricky to go from eating very few vegetables to eating 4 to 6 fist-sized portions, and your fist is roughly the same size as 1 cup. Okay, so if you think about eating 6 cups of veggies in a day, if that feels like a lot to you, go slowly and build up over time. And each week, see if you can add on another serving. Because including a ton of vegetables, if you are not used to eating them, they do take a long time to break down, and in terms of fiber, and it could actually cause you to bloat a little bit, and it can feel a little bit uncomfortable initially. So here's an example of vegetables that are categorized by color. And of course, different colors mean different benefits, different vitamins, different nutrients. So take a look and see, is there any colors that you might have been missing in your diet? Maybe it's been a while since you've included any purple vegetables, or maybe it's been a minute since you've included any white. But take a look and see, is there any new things that you think you might like to try or include in your diet? All right. And I will have this slide available. So you'll be able to go through again. And if there's anything you missed the first time, you're totally welcome to spend a little bit more time with it and take some notes and use it to plan for it. So the problem with most snack ideas, and I just remember whenever I was a teacher, grabbing whatever, and a snack was a snack, right? Like, get it in your mouth before you go on to the next task. Okay, so I was choosing things like pieces of fruit with nothing else added to it. I was choosing, cheese sticks. Granola bars were a fan favorite of mine. And the problem with a lot of these snack ideas is that they are very heavy in carbs and fats, and they don't contain enough protein. Okay. Many of the packaged products that we buy in stores are really heavy in processed and added sugar, okay, amongst other things. So when we're choosing our snacks, it's important to understand that we can balance them out by getting the right amount of nutrients. So here are some ideas for some macro-friendly snacks. You can have some cottage cheese, which would satisfy the protein, some unsweetened fruit jam that would give you a little bit of carbs, and then nuts. Another idea is some Greek yogurt dip. You can add in whatever spices work best for you, and veggies. Hard-boiled eggs, veggies and crackers or tortillas would be a great way to get some protein, carb, and fat. I love eating rice cakes and nut butter as a quick on-the-go snack, but adding in that shaker of protein powder so that I'm balancing it and getting a little bit from each macro category. Hummus and carrots is a great snack that gives us some protein, some carbs, some fiber, and adding in a handful of nuts so that we add a little bit of fat to that equation. Another great one is popcorn and nuts, but add some protein powder to that. And then finally, if you are on the go, grabbing that yogurt cup with a package of nuts or some nut butter and berries is a great way to hit your protein, your carbs, and your fats. All right, so now we are actually going to make the banana bread. I'm going to move my camera down so that you can see my, my setup here, and you can watch me make some delicious protein bread. So we're starting off with 2 ripe bananas. I've already mashed them in the bowl, and you want this to be about the consistency of pudding, okay? And then I like to add, there's not really an order of operations. You can kind of do this any way you like, but I do like to add the wet ingredients first, and then I add the dry. So next, going in, I'm gonna add this 1/4 cup of applesauce. This is homemade applesauce that I made a couple days ago, and I've got 2 eggs. The recipe calls for 2 egg whites, but I'm not concerned about the amount of fat this time, so I'm gonna use the whole egg. And then I'm gonna mix this up. The next wet ingredient that I'm gonna add is Greek yogurt. Mine is 0 sugar added. It's also fat-free. And this calls for 1 cup of Greek yogurt. So I'll just measure it out. You can see how fast it is to cook whenever you have everything laid out. And I'm not too stressed about everything being perfect. I'm gonna mix this up. And next, I'm gonna add my oatmeal. I chose organic, and also I pre-blended a portion of these oats in my blender because these are rolled oats, and you could use either quick oats or rolled oats, but I do find that what makes minute oats cook so fast is that they've already been blended. They're ground up a little bit smaller. So that's the consistency that I'm looking for. This calls for 3/4 cup. So 1, 2, and 3. Next, I'm gonna add in the other dry ingredients. So I've got a protein powder here. This calls for 2 scoops. Okay. And then I've also got some sea salt. We're gonna go for about 1/4 teaspoon. I'm gonna grind out 5, 6, 7, 8. That should do it. And I really like to add cinnamon to mine. So I'm gonna add my cinnamon here as well. And finally, baking soda or baking powder. Oops, that's okay. Grab that. This calls for 1 teaspoon. Okay, so I'm gonna mix this all up so that you guys can see the consistency. And I'm using a silicone mold that works really, really well with my air fryer. So you don't really even need an oven for this recipe. You can cook it in your air fryer. This batter would also make really great pancakes if you wanted to maybe thin it out a little bit more and cook it in a skillet. Oh, this looks so good. Okay, so this is the consistency here. It smells really good. I'm going to pour it into my mold. I've already sprayed it with cooking spray, so it's set to go. There we are. You could always sprinkle a little bit more cinnamon on top or some more oats on top, but it is done. It's ready to fire in the air fryer. So I'll set this off to the side. Let's get ready for next. Next snack. I can give you guys a slightly better angle here. Almost. Okay, so next up, we are going to make my famous protein overnight oats. I love packing my oats in these reusable jars. And I just need to grab one thing. Let me grab the plant milk and then we're ready to go. Okay, so I like to add the dry ingredients first. I use 1/3 of a cup of oats. Pour that into my jar. And then I'm going to use actually chocolate protein powder. And for this brand of protein powder, you do need 2 scoops to make 1 serving of protein powder. So I'll add in the 2 scoops. Feel free to be creative here. Nut butter is really great as well. I'm not going to add any right now, actually, but I might add some a little bit later. I'm going to add in 1/3 cup of cashew milk. And then I'm going to stir it up. This is the spoon I used earlier for the yogurt. That's okay. A little bit of yogurt in there too. And here, the consistency. It looks great. It's nice and chocolatey. From here, you can get really creative and you can add in some more. This is for me to eat and make, so I can lick my fingers. You can add in some more delicious toppings on top, and I like to add in my fat from shredded coconut. I always choose unsweetened, and I'll add in about a tablespoon there. I also really love organic cacao nibs. So this is unprocessed chocolate. And for a little bit of sweetness, I really like using cranberries. So I'll sprinkle a few cranberries on top. And that's it. It's ready to go. Here's my jar. Protein, carbs, and fat, ready to go in your fridge. All you need to do is put the top on, pop it in the fridge, and tomorrow it will be ready to go and really delicious. The last snack that I'm gonna make is the protein yogurt parfait. So I'm not sure if you are familiar with how delicious protein powder and yogurt taste together. But it actually tastes really, really good. So let me grab another spoon. And I'm gonna start by spooning out a serving of yogurt. I usually do 2 big spoonfuls. That usually equals, sometimes a little bit more, that usually equals about 100 grams for me. And I'll add in chocolate protein powder. I really love chocolate, so this is a great way for me to get my chocolate fix without reaching for the processed candy bars. This way there's the added benefit of protein. I'll add in 2 scoops. You can test and see how much protein powder you like in your yogurt. Maybe start off with 1 scoop and see how it tastes for you. I mentioned earlier how delicious it is, and it usually tastes like icing. I'm gonna add in a little bit of collagen. Collagen is a little bit of a cheat code for how you can get extra protein in your coffee, in your baked goods, and in this case, it's just so good in yogurt parfait. Stir this up. Make sure you stir it really well. And I also find if you let it sit for a few minutes or store it in the fridge, it will integrate and get really nice and smooth and creamy. So here's what it looks like. So good. And now that's ready to go. So I will add on my toppings. And Again, you can use whatever toppings you like. I'm gonna use some roasted nuts. So I'll take a little scoop of roasted nuts. I've just got some cashews, pistachios, almonds, and sunflower seeds. It's gonna give it some nice crunch and also add in a great source of fat. I love coconut. I love coconut on anything. So I'm gonna add in a little bit of coconut there. And yeah, we cannot forget the chocolate. Here's some cacao. Great. Nuts and berries are such a great combination. Here is the cranberries. Okay, and here is the protein yogurt parfait. So delicious, so easy, so portable, ready to go. You just need to put the lid on and keep it in the fridge. So within the span of just a few minutes, I was able to create 3 different snacks. It's gonna make my life so much easier next week. Right. So here are some great ideas on snacks that you can keep in your staff room, because I understand that there may be those days that we haven't had a chance to meal prep, we haven't had enough time to do everything that we wanted to do, and we only have a few minutes in the span of our hectic workday to grab a few bites of food in between tasks, in between clients. So here are some suggestions for some snacks that you can keep in your staff room. Protein powder, nuts, dried fruit, nut butters, whole rice cakes, whole grain crackers, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, frozen fruit, prepared cut veggies, and hummus. Having these snacks or a few of these snacks and being able to take a little bit of each one and combine them to make a macro balanced healthy snack, that's really going to help you get through the day and give your body the nourishment that it needs to get through. Some equipment that makes life a lot easier when you are choosing healthy snacks is having a blender and having some shaker cups for the protein powder. And just those 2 pieces of equipment can really help go a long way in terms of being able to provide your staff or provide yourself with the healthy snacks that you need. So, do you need some help with your nutrition? If anything came up during this webinar that you're thinking, I'd really love to know a little bit more, we have an incredible offer for you. Vibrant one-to-one coaching, that is our signature program. It's the proven integrated wellness coaching program for veterinarians, and you'll learn exactly how to fuel your body for optimal performance, how to reach your weight loss goals. You'll feel stronger and confident through the power of nutrition and lifestyle coaching. Vibrant offers a blueprint and accountability of a coach to help you create the healthy, nourishing lifestyle that you've been desiring really fast. And we meet you where you are at, whether you're working on getting enough protein or whether you want to optimize your performance and really transform your body. We have the programs and the processes to get you there. Our process, we begin by reflecting, and we assess and gather data. We identify and clarify your goals, and then we begin to create direction. So we create strategic and segmental actions that's going to move you towards your goals. We help you integrate habits. So we're building on small achievements. You don't need to make all the changes overnight, but we start building those small habits that add up in the direction that you want to go. And finally, evaluating your progress. We use outcome-based decision-making to decide on which next steps will be best for you. We also have an app called Elite Trainer that's typically only available to elite athletes, but I have found that it works really, really well with veterinarians as well in the veterinary medical community, as well as an online classroom packed full of resources to make your transition into a healthy lifestyle a lot easier. Our one-to-one coaching program includes an initial wellness consultation, weekly progress report check-ins and feedback, weekly one-to-one coaching calls. That means that once we do your initial consultation, you'll be getting on a call with our coach every single week. And we're gonna help you go through which habits you need to integrate, which next actions to take. We'll adjust your meal plan and your macros so that you're never in the dark. You're never wondering, what should I eat? What should I do? This really helps us provide the accountability and the clarity to help you move forward. Progressive training program. If you are wanting to level up in the gym, we can help you there as well. Or even if you are new to the gym and you're really not sure where to start, we design training programs that will help you get towards your goals. Custom progressive habit and action. So you'll know exactly what you're focusing on for the week. If you're focusing on integrating more protein, if you're focusing on sleep rituals to improve the quality of your sleep, if you're focused on your workouts for that week, you'll know exactly what you're focusing on and able to track it in our app. And finally, accountability and support. We are here for you every step of the way. You can send your food journals, you can send your habits, you can reach out for a little bit of accountability and support anytime you need. You can access us through our Elite Trainer app or by email. So the included value of having a coach for 6 months to help you totally transform your wellness is $4,694 USD. And I know that our program could sell for far more than that. But our programs are designed to be affordable so that we can truly support the veterinary medical community. And our programs begin at only $249 per month. So you could essentially save money that you would typically spend on processed food and takeout food that does not meet your needs, and instead invest in yourself so that you can change your habits, improve your health, lose weight, optimize your performance, and save money for only $249 per month. And you're welcome to book your free consultation at our Calendly link. It's calendly.com/Vet Vive Wellness, or check out our website, vetvivewellness.com. It's very easy to book a call through there. If you have watched this webinar or you're watching the replay, this still applies to you. We have a personalized nutrition report bundle. This is going to give you your exact macro, calorie, and portion targets for your goal. So as I was going through the information on protein, carbs, and fat, and how much you need towards your goals, and we know that each person needs a different amount of food depending on their activity level. If you were curious about that, and you were wondering how much you need, you can fill in a short survey about your nutrition and movement, and then we will create a report exactly for you. It's going to give you your targets for your calories, your portions, and your macros. It's going to give you a daily portion tracking sheet so that you can track off that you're hitting the adequate nutrients, and also some meal ideas customized for you that go along with your portions. And the bonus to this bundle is that you can get our exclusive meal prep by macro recipe guide. It includes recipes really similar to what we use today, getting enough protein, carbs, and fat in each recipe, and the nutritional information for each. That is typically valued at $29. It's included in our bundle for only $89. So that is a special bonus for you. If you are interested, please drop us an email and we'll be happy to hook you up with the code you need to get that special offer. You'll be able to purchase your personalized nutrition report bundle at our shop, www.vetvivewellness.com/shop. And if you have any other questions, if you would love to know more about our coaching programs, our corporate wellness programs, and how they might work for you or your team, please feel free to reach out. We are on social media on Facebook and on LinkedIn as Vet Vive Wellness. You can also visit vetvivewellness.com or shoot us an email at hello@vetvivewellness.com. I am Kirbie Be. I am so happy to be able to even be in a position to share this information with you, because I did not always know how to create healthy snacks and how to create healthy meals. And just being able to have this knowledge and being able to share it with others, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a beautiful day.